It's 110 degrees outside off the coast of Central America, but I'm wearing a giant puffer jacket on top of my military uniform. And I'm about to spend the next 3 hours organizing stacks of meat. Not because the freezer's a mess, but because 200 sailors are counting on eating on time for the next few months out at sea. If your freezer at home is a complete graveyard, those peas from last March, or the random mystery meat from that meal kit you got a while back, or that soup in there that you're, eventually gonna eat, you don't have a freezer problem, you actually have a system problem. And the fix is the same one I ran on a 420-foot Coast Guard cutter where I planned over 300,000 meals. This is for anyone who treats their freezer like a place for forgotten food. By the end of this video, you're going to learn the single most important meal planning tool in your kitchen without buying any fancy kitchen gadgets or just cooking more. First thing to understand, the freezer, it's not pure storage. This is the first hurdle to overcome before understanding the rest of this video. Most home kitchens treat their freezer like a storage closet. You put something in, 9 months later, you reach in, you take it out, it's complete freezer burn, you're tossing it in the trash. This is going to do nothing at all to reduce the number of decisions you make on food each week. A working freezer, it's a lot different. It's an operating component inside your operational kitchen. Same role as the pantry, but for finished food, right? That means food that's been placed in there on purpose with a label, with an expiration date, and you know it's there ready to have as a backup plan. In the Coast Guard, one of my jobs was managing our gigantic commercial freezer, probably about 800 square feet or so on a 400-foot ship responsible for feeding a couple hundred people a day. So absolutely massive. This is the puffer jacket job. Before each deployment, I'd be ordering maybe $150,000 to $200,000 worth of food for a 6-month deployment. But more importantly, I'm making sure that frozen food is organized appropriately. I draw a little map and everything, make sure I knew where everything was stacked and where it was exactly in terms of our next 6 months of planning. That wasn't just about being tidy though in the freezer, it was about making sure my operation in the kitchen ran smoothly. When you're feeding a couple hundred people, there's no time to just be tidy, right? Being tidy is a hobby. The system, that's the deliverable, which keeps things moving. Most of our home freezers, they act on this hobby logic. You throw something in, you pull it out, you just wing it overall with the freezer. We're going to flip that with a simple rule called FIFO, which your freezer right now is probably breaking. This one rule does the most work out of this whole thing, right? So FIFO, it stands for first in, first out. Every large-scale food operation runs on this method. Think any commercial kitchen, so that means a hospital kitchen, even an airline kitchen, for example, military mess halls. It's not the most glamorous rule ever, but it's boring enough to make things simple to run repeated on a system that doesn't fail. Here's the rule spoken very plainly. The food that first goes in is the first to come out. Older items live in the front and newer items go in the back. So you're always pulling from the front. It's just a constant rotation. That's it. That's the whole rule in a nutshell right there. It prevents your food from going to waste, getting freezer burned, getting lost in the sauce. It mainly prevents that I forgot we had that moment that every single person across the globe has in their freezer. All it requires is a label with dates, 2 seconds of thought when you slide new food in, and pulling from the front. That's a 30-second behavior chain that's going to prevent 90% of that food waste. You probably skipped the FIFO rule without knowing it for years and years, right? Anytime you reach down to the bottom of a deep freezer, you pull something out, it's freezer burned or it's just months and months past the expiration date, you're breaking that rule unintentionally. It's nothing to do with having a memory problem, and it's nothing to do with not having a fancy label maker. It's the order the food enters and exits in the system behind it, which I'll go into. But real quick, if you're on that hamster wheel constantly trying to figure out what's for dinner every week and never knowing where to start with meal planning, sign up to my free weekly newsletter, the Meal Planning OS. I'll link it down below for you. I send it out every Saturday morning. It's packed with useful information that you can put into action each week I send it out. No fluff, no BS, unsubscribe anytime. So we're gonna go into how to run this at home. We're gonna use my Marinara Monday as an example because in theory, this could make sense, but if you're not putting it into practice, it's just gonna go to waste. Say Monday's your marinara pasta night, like my wife and I do almost every single Monday, some kind of pasta dish. You're gonna make it for people in your household. For myself, that's me and my wife. So we're making 2 servings, we're eating it, cleaning up, that's done, Monday's dinner's covered. That's the hobby version. The system version of it is you're gonna make 4 portions. So you're gonna double whatever your household size is, or make 3 so you have 1 extra, whatever version of that is that works for you, for your budget, for your needs, for your time constraints. You're going to eat those couple pastas, you're going to put the remaining into a container, you're going to label, date it. You don't even need the fancy labels, for instance. You can use painter's tape with a Sharpie marker instead. Works perfectly fine as long as it has what it is and what date you put it in. Then you don't think about it again until that next Tuesday where your workday blew up, you're drained as all hell, you come home, you don't have groceries ready for dinner, you don't feel like cooking. So instead of ordering DoorDash for $40 for a meal, you're gonna pop it in the freezer, you're gonna pull out whatever that is that's in front, you're gonna pop in the microwave or the oven, and you're good. That's not meal prep logic or Sunday batch cooking either. It's 1 or 2 extra portions during a weeknight where you have that time or that extra ingredients to cook. It's a label and it's one piece of placement logic that you can repeat systematically each week. It's done while you are already cooking dinner. To start at the most basic level, run that protocol once a week. After 1 month, you're gonna have 4 emergency meals that didn't take you that much extra time to do, maybe 90 seconds per meal. And none of them were planned as meal preps either, right? You didn't waste a whole Sunday meal prepping. Instead, you took a little extra time one night the previous week, you pop that freezer meal in, and you're good to go. Now, Tuesday doesn't have an extra decision in it after a really long day of 100 other decisions, since your meal is pre-decided. This is the foundation of it all. Now we'll dive into the full freezer protocol, the real operating version of this, that you can scale up or scale down to your needs. A hobby freezer has one move, right? Food goes in, but this freezer protocol, it's got 5 different steps that I'm gonna walk you through in detail. One is cooking with intentional leftovers. That could be 1 extra serving or more, at least once a week. You're making that extra portion not for tomorrow's lunch, but for the freezer specifically. It can be as simple as an extra serving of steamed broccoli. 2, you label it with the date that you put in, not afterwards, not later. You will absolutely forget. Do it at the time you put it in. To make that happen easier, what I do, I put some blue painter's tape right next to my Tupperware containers with a big fat Sharpie. I pull it out at the same exact time. I write it super quick. 3, new items go to the back. The older items come out of the front. We're going to implement that FIFO rule every time we use the freezer. We're going to use FIFO as a placement decision. If your freezer doesn't currently have a front and back, it might just be all stacked and scattered. Reorganize it, make it happen. It'll take 5 to 10 minutes once. 4, designate one small section for backup dinner meals. This can be full meals that you have prepped already. It's not where the random leftovers live. These are the emergency backup meals. Pull in case of that disaster that happens during the weekday. Frozen corn dogs back when I cooked on the Coast Guard were technically kind of responsible for about 12,000 pounds of a bunch of drugs busted off the coast of Central America, because the crew, they didn't have to stop their mission mid-bust just to figure out what to eat, because I already had some options ready for them like that. Your backup section is the same exact concept with what I hope would be a lot lower stakes. When your day falls apart, and it will at some point, this is a section you go to every week. No extra decisions needed. 5 is going to be a 5-minute audit once a month. Very simple. You're going to open the freezer, you're going to look through whatever's up front. Anything that's over 3 months old, you're going to use it immediately, or you're going to toss it out if needed. Now, different food items will have different dates, but best rule of thumb, 2 to 3 months stored in the freezer is typically good for most items. These 5 moves only take about an extra 90 seconds or so each time you're cooking on a weeknight to make happen, plus a 5-minute audit once a month. The output is a working freezer that's doing the work of meal planning for you. But the point isn't a perfect freezer. This is what a lot of people get wrong. No need for that beautiful Pinterest freezer you see with acrylic dividers, color-coded label makers, and containers. No need for that. We need an operational freezer right here. The point is that when life gets busy, uncontrollable, which it will, we have our freezer ready to go so we can pull from the front. We have those dinner backup meals from the one little section we made too. In dinner, it's already handled. That's what a system should feel like. It's quietly running in the background. You almost forget it's there until you need it. I planned over 300,000 meals across years being in the Coast Guard for a couple hundred people daily. Not a single meal was ever missed, and the freezer was a big part why. One thing the system actually depends on, I didn't really cover in this video, is that you actually have to be able to find that food when you go to reach for it, which means your freezer, it can't be chaos. It means cleaning has to happen in the background while you're cooking, not as a separate event afterward. That was last week's video. You can watch up here. It's clean as you go. From my POV in culinary school, this is the foundation of this entire system.